Okay, what up? This is Zach, and with me, as always, is my awesome sister. We're playing the Sisters of Stardust campaign, which is our D&D campaign that we do together. And it just has one player, which is Amanda, and she runs... We're letting her use the Sidekick rules, where she can run other NPCs during combat, which is pretty dope. So, it's going to be fun. Yeah. I'm going to let her give us a recap of what we did last time, and then we will begin. So, go ahead.
So, last time, we had just gotten back from bringing the Darkstone back to Helena.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided to go back to, what was that town called?
Your hometown? Or the...
No.
Oh, I got you. It was called... Oh, no. It's gonna come to me. Oh, Huckleberry. Silly me.
Yes, we had to go back to Huckleberry to return our carriage.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to kill the guy that was murdering and eating all those people.
Yeah. So there was a guy who was shape-changing to make himself look like a human who was eating random people. And so, yeah.
Yes. So we decided to go fishing with him, which is how he would lure his prey.
Mm-hmm.
And we came up with a master plan to defeat him, because we knew it was going to be difficult. Zach warned me multiple times how difficult this was going to be.
Yeah, I was laying him on pretty heavy. So
we go fishing with this guy, and we're just hanging out, and there's flying fish there that are magical.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty cool. So we are just catching fish, and then while he's distracted, we decide to pounce. We all throw our nets on him to trap him, and then kind of run away to see what his reaction is going to be. And he grows into his big ogre self and slashes his way out of the nets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we also threw oil around his feet so he would kind of be slipped up.
Yeah.
If he decided to run towards us. So then, all of us almost died. But in the end, we were victorious.
Mm-hmm. So, just for a little extra context there, basically this guy was one shot one of their party. Another person had literally like 4 HP left, and then one of her characters cast a sleep spell on him, which put him to sleep, which was actually really clutch, because when you're unconscious, you automatically get critted when you get hit. So then Deidra ended up using 2 spells in a row on him while he was still unconscious, and it ended, well, it was full crit, and it was really good. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know where my dice are, so you're gonna have to roll for me again this time.
I can roll for you. Oh.
I think they're in my car, but I couldn't find them, so...
I got you. That is fine.
Maybe I left them there. I'm not sure.
That is fine. I have plenty of dice, you know me.
Yeah, just roll good for me.
I'll try. Last time I rolled for you, I was rolling pretty high, so...
Yeah, you were rolling pretty good last time.
We'll see. But, yeah, after defeating the ogre... Did you want to add anything else?
We found something on him.
You found a brooch.
And we took his cleaver.
And a cleaver.
Or whatever it was.
His halberd. Or no, that's not what it was. What was it? Glaive. He had a glaive.
Yes, we stole his glaive and the magical item.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it does.
It was a brooch. It gives the wearer resistance to force damage. And It also like just ignores magic missile when it tries to hit them. So,
Oh yeah.
which is a spell that never misses. And I remember, if I remember correctly, you gave that to Tulane.
Yes,
Okay.
I gave it to Tulane.
Cool. But then after that, you guys walked home with the glaive.
We all carried it and drug it home.
But yeah, we can just pick up when you guys get home. Your mother had mentioned she wanted to send you somewhere to basically she wanted to send you to a man who could enchant basically your basement where the Darkstone's at, so that like the magical energies don't come like flying out too much. She does mention that this guy's name is Gimmel Clerk. And he's just really skilled with warding areas. But we'll say after a couple of days of downtime, she gives you guys 2 letters, one to bring to Gimmel Clerk and one to bring to a man named Vash Loran. And basically what she says is, I need you to deliver these 2 letters. This one will get Gimmel here to fix the Darkstone, and then Vash will be able to pay for the service we need, because it's going to be actually very expensive. But okay. She does not know where Vash is, but she does know where Gimmel is, and Gimmel is in a place called Storm Isle.
Sounds scary.
Wait, it might not be Storm Isle. It might be something else. It's Storm something. Stormhome. But if there's anything you want to do for those 3 days of downtime, we can go ahead and do that. But just know you're going to have these 2 letters after that.
Okay. We went fishing.
Okay.
We kind of took a few days off to recoup.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last time was pretty intense.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we can go.
Okay. Who are you taking with you this time?
Everyone.
Everyone? Okay. That's fine.
Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't know.
Give me just a second.
You're good.
Sorry, they're getting a little rambunctious.
No, I heard him yelling stop and whatever. You know, the fighting noises. No.
Yeah, they're yelling at skeletons on Minecraft.
Oh.
So.
I love that. But yeah, you guys take your downtime. You know that Gimmel is in Stormhome, and he is the one who will know where to find Mr. Vash. So, Stormhome is a place just like on the coast of where you guys are. So I'll say you're like, basically there's a mountain range, and just to the north of that is where you guys live, like on the wood line of the mountain and the like actual woods, if that makes sense. But if you go west, you will find Stormhome.
Okay, so we'll start heading that way.
All right, I want you to make. It's going to take a couple days to get there. Actually, we could just have Rhea teleport you there as well. So it's your call, really. If you want to travel, you can by foot. But if you want her to teleport you, she actually knows Mr. Gimmel. So.
Okay. Then. Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, she can.
Cool. So you go to your teleportation circle in the middle of your like house. She charges up and sends you through. She's like, okay, deliver these letters for me. She's like, I'm not allowed to go, basically.
Okay, that's fine.
But the teleportation circle actually takes you to a monastery. And where you're at, there's like sharp cliffs and like a lot of things like looking off the edge. But if you look off the edge, because you're basically in the middle of this monastery and there's like an open courtyard, you can look off in one direction and see that there is a port, and then you can look in the other direction and there's like a temple at the top of this mountain here. And she did say that Gimel does work at this monastery, so.
Okay. So, let's walk down to the port.
Cool. You're going down to the port? So, also, what do you want to look for at the port? Because Gimel works in the, like, temple there. And then, if there's anything you want to do before, you can. But just let me know what it is.
I don't know. Can I, like, roll investigation to see if there's anything down there?
Sure.
That I want.
So it's just a port city, so there is, like, a lot of goods and things. What's your investigation? Because I rolled a 19, so it's going to be high, but...
I got 0, so...
Okay, 19. Yeah, looking off there, this is a place where you can probably get most of the things you would like. You also, just by looking at the types of ships that are here, you can see that there are a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, there are trade ships that go to the capital. So this is like probably a port city that is supplying the capital and a bunch of other places if it has these types of ships there. Which is surprising that you would, like, notice these things, but you do, just because it's like you understand your mom's history.
Gotcha.
You know?
Okay.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's pretty much, this city's pretty populated, has pretty much anything you'd want to go and, like, find. Or use.
Okay. So, that's good to know. I don't have any of my notes. So I don't know, like, how much money I have or anything like that right now.
I got you. I think you said you had, like, 400 copper or something. And then each of the ladies, I think, had, like, 6 gold from the last time.
Yeah, and then I think I had 30 gold, but I think I spent some of that on the
carriage.
Yeah.
Got you.
So I'm not sure. Anyway.
Okay.
We'll just go to the monastery and find whatever his name is.
Gimel?
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk in the monastery. There's actually a lot of people in here. It's kind of more of a like a study, if that makes sense, rather than it's not like a ninja monastery. It's a scholar monastery, if that makes sense. Sure. So go in there, and it's set up just like a library. So there is, like, a desk where you can go and, like, ask for someone.
Okay, so we'll go ask for him.
Okay, so you walk up to the front desk. There's a man with some glasses on, and he has, like, some he's got brown curly hair that's kind of, like, lengthy at the back. Like, at the front it's kind of shorter, but at the very back it goes into kind of a I want to say a ponytail, but not quite. More of a colonial knot, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But when you ask for Gimel, he's like, "Oh, you don't have to go far. That's me."
Oh, perfect. Gimel,
So like,
we have this letter for you, bro.
He's like, thank you so much. He's like, do you know who it's from?
It's from Rhea Shimmerstone.
His eyes, like that, like, catches his attention really quickly. He's like, I have not talked to Rhea in a long time. He's like, how-ish? He stops himself halfway through like the question of asking how she is, and he like opens the letter. And he's like reading through it. It's like, okay. He's like, okay, this is going to... The procedure she wants me to do is going to cost a small fortune, but it does say here that you will... That I'm assuming you ladies are going... one of you is Deidra.
I am Deidra.
It's like, it says specifically you will come up with the money. And he's like, so, yeah, I'll be here when we're ready to do that. He's like...
Sorry, everything is going wrong for me right now.
I got you. Boop.
Okay. I think we're good.
So yeah, basically he's like, yeah, she says you'll come up with the payment to be able to do it. He's like, just so you know, this is going to be 25,000 gold. So I don't know how she expects you to get this, but she says you're going to.
Okay.
And he like,
do you know? He like what?
He was like, he was basically like, do you like have the money now? So, but when you went to go ask who, do you know, he stopped himself.
Do you know where we can find Vash?
Vash Loran.
What's his name? Vash Loran?
Yes. And he's like, and he like chuckles to himself. He's like, Vash is actually at port today, so normally you'd have to wait a couple days, but he like stands up from his chair and like walks to the doorway that you guys came in. And he's like, he points out, he's like, do you see the ship with the red sails?
Yes.
He's like, they look red from here, but they turn purple when you get closer to them. That is his ship. Vash works on that trade ship. Or, well, owns it, rather. But, yeah, he'll be happy to hear from Rhea. Also, okay. This man is not a halfling, he's a half-elf, the guy you're talking to right now.
Okay.
Just so you know. But he's like, yes, go to the ship with the red sails. That is where Vash is. It's like, I assume, yeah, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Okay.
You can see, like, kind of the, there's like a, like, sigh of relief, I want to say, where he's just like, huh. Or kind of like a, I don't know, he's having a blast from the past moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about Rhea. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So,
like,
we will head over to the port again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go down to the port.
Try to find Vash.
So you go down to the port, and there is, like, where this particular ship is. Well, walking down there, there's actually a, like, stone pathway with a small wall that, like, guides you down. And it looks like it took a lot of work to make that, you know. And then there are actually, like, a lot of, like, these cobblestone streets that are, like, really laid together, and some more stone buildings and brick buildings that have been made to basically withstand the weather around here. But it's actually a very populated city. Most of the buildings are 3 stories high. Lots of hustle and bustle. And a lot of different, races throughout this thing. So the elves, humans, halflings, gnomes, you name it, you can probably see one of those things if you look hard enough.
Okay.
But by the time you get to the port, you actually see it's a very busy port. Lots of people running back and forth, ship hands, dock workers throwing things. But there are people at the end of each like dock that are taking care of the payment and the basically paperwork of what's going on there. So you would just know, looking at these guys, oh, this is who I talk to figure out who to talk to or where to go. Like, you need to get on this ship with the purple sails, but yeah, there's a guy who would stop you even if you tried to get on, basically.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on trying to get on.
Mm-hmm.
I was planning on just going out front and asking
Got you.
people around that ship if they can point me in the direction of Vash.
Okay. So you're just asking the people out there?
Yeah.
Cool. So they're like, oh, Vash, yeah. One thing you do notice about the people who are working on this particular ship is all of them have like pointed ears, but not all of them look particularly elven or like, yeah. Basically, they're like a mixed race of elf, if that makes sense. But one guy stops. He's like, "Oh, Vash, he's on the ship." Yeah, he's just filling out a couple of the tax and docking paperworks, getting ready. He's like, if you wait long enough, he'll probably come up to the front and bring the papers himself.
Okay. Is there a way you can tell him that we're waiting for him?
He's like, I'll go let him know. He's like, yeah, you'll know it's him. And he like walks off.
Just tell him that it's Rhea's daughter.
And the guy's like, okay, Rhea's daughter. And he like walks up to the, you see him walk onto the ship. After this, you actually see, he looks halfling, like from far away, but when he gets closer, he also has like the pointed ears. And the kind of dramatic, he has kind of dramatic eyebrows and eyelashes. They're like pointed out, like with, it's like when girls do like the cat eyeliner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has that like naturally. But he actually walks off fairly quickly. Like you would imagine, like when you see him coming down, he's coming pretty fast. And he's like, so I'm assuming one of you is Rhea's daughter.
That's me.
Like,
I'm Deidra.
He's like, how old are you? You can just say it like in human years and I can like calculate it and for you.
20?
20? Okay, so if you're 20, you'd probably be like, I think you'd be around 100, like 130, 140. So if you say that, he's just like, huh. It's like, how? I had no idea she had a child. That's crazy. So, sorry. He like does seem pretty blindsided by it. He's like, was there a reason? What can I do for you?
My mom wanted me to bring you this letter.
He's like,
I don't know what it says.
He like takes it. He's like, do you want to come on the ship, have some wine?
Sure.
He's like, it's a lot more comfortable than standing out here. He like walks.
It is a little hectic out here.
He like walks on, and he actually does have like that main office in this ship, or the main room in the middle. You get what I mean? The captain's quarters. He walks in and opens it. There's like a lot of things in there, and since it's like a normal sized ship, and he's a halfling, and he has like this basically would be the size bigger than a normal house for a halfling, you know, like a normal cottage or something. So he's living in style in here, but he has a little corner of his room cut out to be like a kind of desk and office area, and there's a couple chairs there. He's like, have a seat, ladies. And he like uncorks some wine, and he's like, Feel free to drink as much as you want. He pours some glasses. He's like, I'm going to go over this because I'm very interested to see what it says, I guess. He's like, I have not seen, to be honest, I didn't even know Rhea was alive. But
not to metagame, but is this guy my dad?
Like, how do I say this? Like, he could, like, he's the same age as your mom, if that makes sense. Like, you can tell that. I guess make an insight check for me. I'm gonna roll for you. What's your insight? Is this guy like
Zero.
0? Okay. So I rolled a 9. I'm gonna say, like, basically any halfling that you meet who is this age that knows your mom, they could be your dad, but who's to say? You know, you're just like, yeah, you just can't
Just
put
the
your
way
finger
he
on it.
reacted to like me and asking me how old I was, like that's what I was like.
Yeah, he's like, wait, how old are you? Oh my god. Okay, but yeah, so while you guys are like enjoying some wine, he's like just chatting a little bit. He's like, so how, like, I don't know, how are those sisters doing? And he's like reading the letter. He's like, like, he's like biting his mouth. He's like, oh, I'm like,
We're doing good. We're growing. We're getting some stuff done.
She's like, I should have known the first thing when I heard Rhea's name that she would be asking me for money. He like looks at this mythic or this thing for money, this letter. He's like, I'm sorry.
So how do you know my mom?
Oh, we actually worked together. We worked at the castle. That was a lifetime ago. I don't do that anymore.
Okay.
You know, we were in politics. Now we're not.
Sure.
He's basically like you can tell when he's talking about it. It's kind of like something went down there, and as far as like the political side of things, and he's just like, I'm glad I'm doing this. Like, you can just tell.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I don't have this type of money on me right now. He's like, I do know a place where we can get some of this, enough gold to pay for this particular thing. I'm sure you know some of the details. She just is basically asking me to give you a lump sum to pay for a ritual.
Yes.
And she wants 20. Yeah, that's a lot of gold. He's like, are you really related to... This could be a scam. He like sits back and he like looks at you guys. He's like, what color is Rhea's hair?
Brown.
Good guess. He's like, it is brown. He's like,
She raised me.
He's all, does
to
she...
fight with the Sisters of Stardust.
He's like, that makes sense. He's like, if she raised you, you would have a mark. Where's it at?
I don't know where it is.
It can be wherever you want it to be, but where is it?
I'm just gonna say it's like on my shoulder, like right here.
Okay, so you like lift it, and he's like, okay, that makes sense. He's like, okay, your timeline's making sense. Your mark is making sense. You knew her hair was brown. I got one more question. He's like, she carries a trinket on her at all times. What is it?
A trinket?
Yes.
Am I supposed to know this?
It's from the second session, so if you don't remember, I can tell you, but she does carry something on her. It's like how you got your wand. Do you remember what she got?
Oh, yeah. No, I can't remember what she got.
I believe she has a pocket watch. Yeah. She has a pocket watch that basically can, like, change the outcome of certain situations for her. It just makes her more lucky. So however you decide to tell him that, I'll let you say it.
She has a lucky watch.
He's like, okay. Yeah, that settles that. You know her. He's like, I know a place where we can get this type of gold, but I really don't. Basically, there is a hole in the sea that I can lower you down into to gather a bunch of gold. And I'd be willing to take you there and put off a couple of the things I'm doing now. Let some of my crew rest and just do like a small journey to do that. Just for old time's sake. And, what?
Is she blackmailing you or something?
He's like, you know, we could blackmail each other quite a bit, but I think it's a mutual respect thing. If she needs help, I help her. If I need help, she can help me.
Okay, yeah. And if you help us with this, you have my help too.
He's basically like, in the work that we did together, basically, we have a lot of favors that we haven't cashed in on.
$25,000 worth of gold. Favors.
He's like, yeah, you'd be surprised. He's like, but keep in mind, I'm not giving you my gold. I'm letting you go get your own.
Okay. Zach, did you level me up to level 5, or...
I thought I did. I might have forgotten to do what I did last time. Let me check.
This just says 4, but my HP didn't go up.
Okay, let me check. Boom, boom. Maybe I forgot, dude. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Oh, goodness. I have so many character sheets in my computer. I would have given you one more spell that you would know that's a second level spell. And you would have 3 third level spell slots. I don't know if you can edit it on yours.
I can. Would my hit points go up?
Yes. Let me check. What's your constitution modifier?
+3.
+3? Okay, so that is going to be... sorry, I'm doing math. So is yours 22 right now?
It's 30 right now, but that's what it was last time.
30? Okay, so it's going to be 3 plus 3, so that's 6. 36.
36?
Yep.
And then I have 3 third level spells.
Yes. Sorry about that, Amanda.
That's okay.
I could have sworn I did it. Maybe I just saved it in the wrong spot or something. But... Whew. So while you're in this office, Arya's actually looking at a bunch of the different wines and stuff, and she is pointing out to you, she's like, this is some hot... She's like, this is really high-grade stuff. Like, she's like into it, you know? You can tell just from how Tulane reacts to everything that she's never been in a place this nice before. Like, the other nicest... You can just assume the other nicest place she's been is your home.
Yeah.
And then, Jeanette always seems a little detached. But also, if you do have any weird questions, you could probably ask Jeanette, because she can read minds. And you can just talk to her in your head.
Yeah. Can I ask her? Just be like, do you know what that letter said?
You're gonna so she like she like tells you telepathically. She's like the letter said what he said it said. Like, it says that basically she needs him to deliver 25,000 gold to you so that she can do this ritual in her home. But he is freaking out because he thinks you're his kid. If that's what you're worried about. Like, she's telling you in your head.
I knew it.
She's like, he definitely thinks you could be. He's not sure, though. She's like, maybe that's why your mom didn't come herself, too. Just to scare him a little bit. Then again, I guess she's scared to go anywhere. As you're having this conversation in your head, he's basically... what's his name? Vash is going out and getting... he's telling his men kind of what's going on. He's like, hey, we're going to do like this short little trip with these girls. We'll be back in a couple days, essentially.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
Cool.
This, so Arya has this, shape water spell.
Yeah.
Can we use that to get down there?
So, basically, when they lower you into... the way he explains it is the thing he's going to lower you into is in the middle of the ocean, but it's dry. It's like a pipe in the middle of the ocean.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like, have you ever seen those videos where there's like just a hole in the ocean where there's like the cool little structure where like the waves come in, but there's like a hole that's sucking it in? I don't know. I can show you eventually. But
sure. I was so close to the camera just now.
That's good. It's good for the thumbnail. No. But yeah. Is there anything you want to do in town or ask for or get while you're here? Too?
No.
Okay. So you travel, basically they get all their affairs together, and for 3 days you travel by water. Yeah, and basically this Vash guy basically will ask you about your mom and your sister every once in a while. Just be like, hey. He's like, huh.
I find all of it really entertaining.
Yeah. Also, you notice that he like has wind powers that can shoot. Like every guy on this ship has wind powers. They're basically airbenders, and like push the sail. So where you're going wouldn't normally take 3 days. You're getting there a lot faster than normal.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him. Be like, what's up with all of like the pointy ears?
He's like, oh. He's like, all of us are half elves.
Half elves?
Yes.
Okay.
He's like, basically, a bunch of people got cast out. I don't want to get into it, political stuff, but a bunch of people got cast out. Turns out, I don't know. You know, nation stuff.
Fair enough.
He's just kind of like, it's a sore spot, but yeah, basically, my father was an elf, my mother was a halfling, and apparently that weirded both. We're kind of ostracized, so I had to do something, start some stuff up, start this business up to get everybody just out here. I was like, I don't know. It got weird. He's like he does have like an air of confidence, but you can tell this is like a tired guy. He's worked a long time to be where he's at, and he's like, ugh.
And I can tell it's like not a comfortable subject for him. So.
Yeah, he's like, But they get to the middle of this ocean here, and you literally see that there is a hole, and he drops anchor on one side of the hole, and he's like, I'm gonna lower my other anchor down the hole, and I'll let you guys climb down it or float down it, whatever you do. I'm sure you guys are super magical, if you know my memory serves me correct. Yeah. He's like, I can just have my men float you down if you can't, though. He's like, but there should be tons of gold laying around down there for you to just take. So he gives you guys like a couple of bags. He's like, just fill up these bags. You should be good. And just hang them on the bottom of the anchor and I'll hoist them up at the end.
Okay, perfect.
He's like, yeah, I'm not going to go down there, though. He's kind of like...
Is there anything else down there that we should be concerned about?
He's like, most of the people who die at sea... Well, most. That's an overstatement. A lot of people who die at sea get sucked into this hole. So, what's in this hole is a ton of gold from a ton of corpses and a ton of different cargo. Basically, what am I trying to say? A lot of valuable things end up down there, but also, unfortunately, a lot of dead bodies. So when you see a bunch of skeletons around a bunch of gold and silver and jewelry and just any type of craftsmanship, don't be surprised.
Good to know.
Yes. It's like, also, there could be like crazy fish people down there. They're not always down there. What?
I said I love fish people.
Like, okay.
Let's go.
He's like, so, here you go. And he like, if you guys want to get onto the anchor, he'll like lower it down. Or you guys can let the anchor fall, like go down itself and like follow it.
We can just get on the anchor and go down with it.
Cool. So he lowers it down carefully and gently as you guys go. Because normally anchors just kind of like fall or whatever.
We'll just drop it, yeah.
So he's just like, he's like letting it go, but he's like being safe about it. But the anchor hits the bottom. And you see all around you, there are tons of bones down here. Actually, like, there's like a pile of bones at the bottom, but around all of these bones, there are like old rotted wood crates that are like busted and broken. If you look, I'm gonna roll investigation for you. 19 again. So,
cool.
Looking around at like these mounds of bones, there's actually a ton of like gold jewelry. You can tell that a lot of these people probably had gold pouches, but the gold pouches have like rotted. So there is like a ton of gold down here, but like it's not the funnest way to get it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's gather it up.
Okay, so you guys start like scooping gold. Scooping and scooping.
I'd say like we all like took a bag and like are just scouring basically.
Yeah, so you guys are, I would say you're like sifting through, grabbing the pieces that you can, things like that. Gosh, what am I looking at? At one point, there is so there's like whole mounds of bones here, right? But at one point, a skeleton like pops out of the mound of bones. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he has
getting some gold. What are you doing here?
He's like, "I don't know." And
you don't know?
He like puts his hand on his like skeletal chin, and he's like, "I was one of the finest alchemists at the academy. They dropped me down here because they hated me."
They hated you?
They hated
Why did they
me.
hate you?
I was so good at what I did, no one could surpass me at the academy. You can kind of tell he's just like it's a skeleton.
He's just cocky.
But he's also like just nuts from being down here. He's like, look at this. It's like, look at me. Look. It's like I created a concoction that would keep me alive forever. Now look at me. I'm just a skeleton. Shadow of a man. And he you see him
You
walk.
come with us?
He's like, clink, clink, clink. He's like, you'll let me out of here?
Yeah.
He's like, I would love that.
Will you help us gather some gold? You can't keep any.
He's like, I can help gather gold. And you see him start sifting through more skeletal stuff. And every once in a while, when he's sifting through stuff, you see another skeletal hand or something start to pop up, and he'll smack it, and he'll be like, no! And he'll start looking at things. So there's obviously been some weird rituals and stuff with the skeletons down here, and this guy's just I don't know, the grandpa of the skeletons, for lack of a better term. And he's just kind of going, he's like, But he ends up gathering a bunch of gold too. He's like, I also can make a concoction that will allow us to, whatever breaks the thread on this concoction, the thread will turn into whatever it's made out of. He doesn't have eyeballs, but basically he's claiming that he can just make gold out of thread.
How would you do that?
He's like, I'm a magic man. And the best alchemist ever. Actually, it's a funny story. I fell into the Feywild one time. And there was a little man carrying a little scythe. Not a scythe, what's it called? A sickle. His sickle, I noticed whenever it hit something, would transform it. So I took the sickle from him, because I killed him, obviously. He was trying to kill me, it wasn't that. And then I took the sickle and I crushed it down into a compound into the end of my pouch here. And he holds up a little pouch, and there's a little, basically it looks like a bottle opener at the end of the pouch. He's like, and now I can turn, and he pulls off a rotted piece of cloth, pulls it off and turns it into a square piece of gold. I have a way of making gold out of cloth.
What's the catch?
He's like, there is no catch, I'm magic. Well, I had to kill a guy for it.
Okay.
He's like, I guess the catch is, maybe we should find some clothes that I can wear so I'm not just a skeleton. Because I'm assuming the people up there will be freaked out. Because I've been here a long, long time.
Can you find any down here?
He's like, not any that aren't gold.
You've just been making gold down here?
He's like, I don't know what else to make. I don't have any other components other than vile and seawater.
You got wood.
It's all destroyed by the seawater. He's like, and then if I want anything that'll stay sturdy, I have to turn it into a little gold sheet. He's like, look. And he he goes to another group of pile of bones, and he pulls basically he's made a golden chair out of gold shavings. He's like, this is what I made for years. Then I realized I should just lay around. There's no reason worth living.
Okay. So let's gather all of this gold.
So you could gather a bunch of gold, put it in the backpacks. You can also hook the backpacks, when the backpacks start to get heavy, you can hook them onto the anchor.
Okay.
What's his name? Vash said. So you hook it on there. He's like, the skeleton guy's basically like, well, maybe I should. He's like, I haven't been able to find clothes in years. I rolled an investigation for him. It's just terrible. So he can't find anything to wear.
Okay. So for right now, Arya, will you let him wear your shawl?
Arya's like, yeah. And she throws the shawl over him. He's like, the shawl is small.
Well, we are halflings. And we don't have much choice, so.
He's like, maybe Maybe I could fold myself up and you could put me in one of your backpacks.
No.
He's like, okay, that's probably a terrible idea anyway. he's like, I've been down here a long time. So,
we can get you clothes when we surface.
He's like, okay. He's like, can I get a wizard's hat and a cloak? Oh, it doesn't matter. Let's go.
Okay. Can we say confidently that we've gathered enough gold?
Let's do... For gathering gold, let's do a check. We can either do an investigation, like for you sifting through the gold. If you want it to be... I'm willing to do a lot of checks. Just tell me which one it is. You know, as long as it can be justified. It can be an investigation, sleight of hand for sifting through it. Nature to determine if, like, you know how to, whatever it's called, what's that called where you scoop the gold and then shake it until it falls to the bottom? What's that called? The gold
I don't remember. I don't know.
I forgot.
We can do sleight of hand.
Okay. Give me sleight of hand. So I got a dude, I'm rolling 19s left and right for you. So I got 19.
Take it. That's 21 for me.
21 for you. I'm gonna roll for the other ladies as well. So we'll do.
What do I add to it?
So it should be your dexterity. So Tulane, I got a natural 1. She's just putting stuff in the back.
Reroll.
Oh yeah, I can reroll. Thank you. A 3.
So 5 for her.
Okay, so she's not doing too well, but basically you guys are like filling her backpack for her because she's like, I know I'm good at seeing in the dark, but this is not... Like, she's just grossed out, I guess.
Yeah.
Jeanette got a 12.
So 14.
And what's her name?
Arya.
Arya got a 19. I rolled a 1
21.
and then a 19. So we'll say you and Arya basically did most of the work. Jeanette was doing pretty fine, but Tulane was moping around, I guess. I don't know.
She just didn't want to touch anything.
Yeah,
she was grossed out.
She's like, she was that kid at the campsite. So, yeah, this, you do fill up all the backpacks, though, and you can hook them onto the anchor. Yeah. How are you gonna get their attention to pull you back up?
Yank.
Yank, give me a performance check. 6 plus your performance or charisma.
What?
So I rolled a
Plus
6,
3.
but add your performance or charisma for them. You're getting their attention with the shake.
Oh, plus 4.
Plus 4. Okay, his passive perception. Oh goodness. Let me look at this. He should have a really high passive perception, so I'm pretty sure you're going to get up right now, but I just want to check. Yeah, so you get, after you yank, you feel like the chain, like, kind of, like, move a little bit, but you do feel it start to crank up. So if all of you just chill at the end, you're on there and you have a skeleton guy with you. It's like, and you see Vash at the top, and he's like, "Whoa!" She's like,
"Yeah, we found this guy. He can't die."
He's like, "Yes, I've been very productive in my life. I got thrown down here by the academy. You see." And
if
then,
you keep being annoying, we'll throw you back.
Keep what?
If you keep being annoying, we'll throw you back.
And then, like, Vash chuckles to himself. He's like, ugh. He's like, yeah, go ahead and get in. I don't know. He's like, do you have any clothes that aren't a halfling shop? And he's like, I have some, like, rags you can wear. Like, some raggy clothes that I have for other ship people. Yeah, I'll grab you something. And he gets him, like, an outfit that basically is just tied on to him because he's a skeleton, you know?
Yeah.
So he's got, like, one of those open, like, shirts and some of those pants that go up to basically, like, mid-thigh. But yeah, you got a skeleton guy with you, and he's got his little pouch with him. He's
Perfect.
like, now the real adventure begins. Like, I was stuck in that hole for millennia. And then Vash is like, I told you, like, I knew there were dead guys down there, but I didn't realize, like, you know, I always imagined, like, the skeleton, like, attacking people, not whatever is going on here.
We immediately were not intimidated by this man.
They're all sailing the ship back after getting it all ready, and they're using, like, their air to push it. As that is happening, is there anything you want to talk to anybody about on the ship while you're going? First off,
I don't think so. I'm good.
okay. Boom, boom. Okay, so as you guys sail back, you actually don't have any problems on your way. But as you get back to the city, Vash hands you a letter. He's like, feel free. He's like, give this to your mother for me. I felt I maybe should write back, at least.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like, good to know she's alive.
Yeah, she's lived a pretty good life so far.
He's like, yeah, I'm just glad she's not doing what we used to do. And he lets you guys off the ship, and you guys have been what's it called? Just enjoying yourselves in his quarters. He didn't really put you guys to work or anything. He kind of just, he was doing his favor.
Yeah. And I'd say, like, we didn't mind helping out around the ship where we could help.
Okay.
While we were.
Yeah, you did your part where you could. I got you. But as you get back to the dock, like, everything's still, like, hustle bustle. I would say it's probably more of a nighttime when you return.
Okay.
Like, it's just getting dark. It's not like nighttime, but it's just getting dark. But yeah, torch lights are starting to turn on in the city, and you actually can see the monastery all lit up from the ship. Even.
Perfect.
As you make your way up there, you'll, like, follow the cobblestone roads again. Then there's those cobblestone stairs with the wall next to it. But as you're walking up these stairs, there's actually a big stone just in the middle of the road, like where these stairs are at. Like, how do I say this? In the middle of the stairs, like the halfway point to getting to the monastery and getting to the city, there's a stone just, like, laid in the middle of the stairway.
Do we have another giant magical stone?
Do you want to check if it's magical?
Yeah, let's do an Arcana check.
You got it. Also, what's her name? Jeanette has detect magic.
Detect magic. Yeah, let's do that.
Detect magic?
Yeah.
So when you do detect magic, there is no magic coming off of this stone. It's just a giant rock that's been laid there.
Okay.
As you guys are examining it, how do I want to do this? I'm going to do your names in alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Jake.
It's going to be Arya, me, Jeanette, and then Tulane.
Okay. So I'm rolling a D4. And then the skeleton guy. So that's a D5, actually, or a D6. It's the same, 2. Okay, so you're standing there, and I'm going to have you give me a dexterity saving throw. Which I rolled a 7 for.
So 9.
9. Okay. As you're examining this stone, another stone from the cliff above you starts to fall. And as it falls, I'm going to say you jump out of the way, but it still is going to damage you because it lands in front of you and a shard of stone comes falling off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, let me roll this damage here. Oh, goodness. Which I got 1 plus 6. So it'll do 7 damage to you.
Okay.
But when you look up, there is a giant creature with one eye in the middle of its head throwing rocks onto the ridge. You get what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't understand why.
Do we want to roll initiative?
I kind of want to just run away.
Okay. You can do whatever you want. But
Because I feel like what if it's supposed to be protecting the monastery and we just kill it? Because that would suck.
That's true. One thing you can't tell from this thing is that it chucks rock, it throws the rocks. It doesn't just push them off. So if you're gonna run away, we would still do initiative, and it'd be chucking rocks at you, essentially.
Okay.
Cool. Are you running?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm going to say that if you guys all do, because most of you have a 25 at least run speed, so that'd be...
We all have 25, I think.
Yeah, so that'd be 50 per turn. I'm just going to roll one more time to see if he hits any of you guys. And then, because the skeleton guy actually runs faster than all of you guys anyway. And then I'm going to have him do the same thing he did for you. And then, basically, if this person doesn't get downed, you guys don't have to do initiative, is what I'm trying to say. Boom, boom. Okay. So, he's actually going for Arya this time. Natural 20.
Shit.
No, she gets a natural 20 for the dexterity save.
Oh, okay.
So...
I was worried.
Yeah. So she's got a natural 20. So she completely avoids this thing. I don't know how. This giant rock gets lobbed at her. And she, dives out of the way. And yeah. There's a Cyclops.
There's somersault. She's like, not today. Not in my house.
She's she rolls. She's like, I've had more unruly customers at the bar than this. She's like, I have to deal with this every day. I don't know. But you guys are back in the city. Rocks are no longer being lobbed at you. What are you doing?
We're going to the monastery. I don't want to be walking around town with this much gold.
But that was the trail to the monastery, or are you just going to go around another way?
Yeah.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So you can go around another way. It's just going to be it's going to be a long walk compared to what it would normally be. Because basically you got to go up the other side of on the other side of the city, there's another cliff face that's just like a normal trail. It's not cobblestone or anything. That you can go up and zigzag through and then walk around to like the front of the monastery. Or I guess the back. I don't know. The other side of the monastery.
Do we think there are going to be other rock-throwing monsters around?
We can say you guys are being stealthy as you guys go, just in case. Or you can be constantly making what's it called? Perception checks.
Yeah, let's be stealthy.
Okay. Let's roll. Okay. Do you want me to roll for everyone or just do like a general stealthy check?
We can just do a general one.
Okay. Boom, boom. I rolled a 3.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's really bad. But you guys think you're being stealthy, regardless, as you walk through. And eventually you start hearing pounding again, like and you do see a cyclops off in the distance.
Did you take this from Avatar?
So, what do you mean by the Avatar thing? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh.
Boom,
That's funny. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. No, so obviously not. That's not what I was going for. But yeah, there is a cyclops in the distance, just like busting things.
Okay. So, we're just gonna start running towards the monastery.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to have this thing try and attack you.
Okay, so we're running. Make dexterity saving throws.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to make dexterity saving throws for people. Boom, boom. Next one is Tulane. I rolled for Tulane, and she got a 17 for her dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Boom, boom. And then, so I'm going to say she doesn't take damage from that. Next is Arya again. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do 3 rolls. Just have him throw 3 rocks while you guys are running. But he's bad at what he's doing, is basically what I'm saying. So I'm rolling with advantage for you guys. Actually, I should just be rolling for him now. What am I doing? 2, 3. 8. So he got a 3 to throw this rock at Arya, which I'm going to say misses, unless it doesn't. Let me double check.
Her AC is 15.
Okay, so I just rolled a 12 altogether, so that's a miss. And then another one at Arya, this one should be the last one, which is another miss because I only got a 13 that time.
Okay.
So we'll say you guys made it to the monastery, and once you get to the door, the door is barred shut because there's a crazy animal outside. But if you want to try and get someone's attention, you can.
Yeah, let's knock.
Yeah. So yeah, you're knocking. Boop, boop, boop. Roll. I'm going to have you roll a performance for me. So I did a 5.
+3.
+3. Yeah, I'm saying that the knocking probably isn't working for this.
Well, what the heck?
You can try and find some other way in.
Okay, let's roll survival, I guess.
Survival?
See if we can find another way in.
Oh, I got you. 13 plus?
2.
Plus
15.
2? 15. I'll say it basically... whoever you rolled for and is like leading you over there instinctually goes to the opposite side of like where the Cyclops would be. What am I saying? But they also know that on this side, like from being, what am I saying? From this side, on the inside, if you start knocking like on the shutters where the windows would be, they probably could hear you better because this is where the people actually were.
Okay. So let's knock on the windows.
So boom. And I rolled a 12.
So 14.
14. Somebody like opens the window, and it actually is Gimel, the guy you saw. He's like, "Oh, it's you." He's like, "Hurry!" And he like starts pulling you in the window.
Okay.
And you like, you guys all get pulled in. And then the skeleton guy goes to climb in the window, and he's like, "Oh!" and like smacks him.
He's with us. He's with us. He's an alchemist.
I just want to see if he
can't
hits him. So he got a natural 1 for trying to smack the skeleton. So he like goes to hit him, and he like spins and falls over. He's like, "Oh, this is how it
whacks
ends."
his hand on the window, and it's like, "Ow!"
But the skeleton guy walks in. He's like, "I promise I'm not bad." And he shuts the shutters. And you hear more like outside. They're like, "We've been waiting. We need the city watch to get rid of these giants outside." He's like, "But it looks like you guys have the gold, so I'm going with you guys." Like, he's like, "This ritual is gonna take me a month to do, by the way. So get used to me."
Okay.
Right now, him being in your house for a month straight is going to suck for him because it is like a smaller house. Yeah. They go back to what's his name goes, "We can go to the courtyard and try and use the teleportation circle." He's like, he's like, "I don't know where we're going now. So in order for me to make it work, I need to know where we're going."
We're going to Helena.
He's like, "Where's Helena?"
In the forest.
He's like, "Is there a way you can show me?" And you actually do have a seer stone, so you could show him.
I have the crystal ball,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
You do have a crystal ball. So you're like, you can present it to him and show him and give him, basically just show him exactly where the portal's at if you want to.
Okay. Just be like, "Here it is."
He's like, "Okay, let me check something." Guy's basically like, "Okay, so we can wait till the morning and hope that giant is gone, because if you remember, the teleportation circle is in the courtyard outside."
Yeah.
He's like, "Or we can go out there, but it's going to take me 1 minute to cast this spell, and basically we'll have to hide ourselves for 1 minute."
We can fight him.
You guys want to fight him?
While you cast this spell?
Tulane's like, "I can just make it really dark around the teleportation circle and we can hide in there."
Okay, let's do that too.
He's like, "Okay." He's like, "Let's sneak out there and just try and figure it out first. Then we can make it dark. And if we have to fight him, we have to fight him."
Okay.
So, like, he cracks the door open. And you can actually hear this giant walking off in, like, the what's it called? I would call it the southern side of this building. So, on your left, you can hear it walking around, like. Ugh.
Yeah.
And the guy creaks the door open. I'm gonna roll stealth checks for you guys. 15.
+2.
Heck yeah. So you guys are sneaking out there pretty good. Like, and this creature is not seeing you. It's just doing its own thing. Walking around making noises and just making a ruckus, basically. What's his name? Gimmel goes up to the circle and he puts his hands on it and starts like chanting under his breath. He's like, and you hear like the shaking in the background, and then basically for 1 minute you guys stand there. Let me see if he can see you at any of these points. And yeah, he's not seeing you. He's got one eye, so he sucks at seeing. And the teleportation circle starts to flash. He's like, everybody on! And you all jump on there, including the skeleton guy. And you all make it back to your home.
Perfect.
And you all have bags of gold on your back. Like, oh. So one's making it in there. It is nighttime, like I said, but your mom and aunt like hear you guys come and they slip out. They're like, oh, how was the journey?
We found a skeleton.
This guy's like, I'm one of the most renowned alchemists.
What did I tell you about being annoying?
Oh, sorry. I just like to introduce myself.
What's your name?
He's like, I don't remember.
Can we name you?
He's like, sure. I remember I was one of the most renowned alchemists.
We'll just call you Harold.
Harold?
Yeah.
He's like, I like that name.
Perfect. Me too.
He's like, I think I'm going to work on a concoction to grow my skin back and my bones. Well, not my bones. My muscles.
Good idea. You might be easier to look at. And people won't try to hit you every time you show up somewhere.
He's like, yeah. Once he got out of like the hole, you noticed his bones were like super white. Like he had been keeping them nice somehow.
He was like brushing his bones.
Yeah. And so he's like, well, I did what I could. But now that I can go out and buy ingredients and things with my gold, I can grow my skin back.
Yeah, you can.
So he's like, do you guys care if I stay here for a little while?
Rhea, is that okay with you? He can make gold out of anything, so.
She's like, huh. He's like, I can make gold out of thread. Like he corrects you. He's like, I can make gold out of threads. She's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. He's like, I will pay in my thread gold for my stay. But I don't want to grow my skin back before I go traveling. After that, Gimmel basically looks down at the sisters and is like, I cannot believe you guys are still alive. He's like, what are you... It's like, what, you guys have just been hiding out here? And Rhea's like, well, we can't go anywhere fun, if that's what you're saying, type of a thing. He's like, oh yeah, I know. if you went anywhere, I was like, like he's just like there's just like this mutual understanding that they like really messed up or whatever, right?
Well, her sister did. What's her name?
Oh no. I have it right here, silly me. Kira. Yeah, Kira's like, guys, she's like, I've apologized for this in the past, but if we must, she's like, I have been paying for it since, and I'm sorry. Rhea's like, we don't need to hear that right now. We're building a great life here, and I only wanted to reach out to people that I actually trust. And Kimmel's like, he's like, well, yeah. He's like, wasn't expecting it.
Well, we're glad you could come.
But he's basically like, so do you want to show me this this stone that I'm going to be working on?
Yeah.
So you guys show him the stone in the basement. Have you guys built like an actual there? So was there a pre-built basement, or did you build a basement for the stone just barely?
No, there was a basement, and we dug a hole and put it in the hole.
Oh yeah, I remember now. So there was already a basement there, so you guys can walk down there, no problem. And he looks, he's like, wow. And he like puts his hand out and stuff, and he's like, you can literally feel the energy coming off of this thing. He's like,
yeah.
He's basically like, he's like looking at the stone, he's feeling it come off. He's like, whew, no wonder you want me to put stuff around here. I wouldn't want this under my house. And so he's like, but I will start working on it.
Okay.
So you see him like literally, he's like, leave the bags of gold here. He points to a section under the in the basement, and he's like, he says he's gonna go buy some, what is it he needs to go buy? He's buying a bunch of basically components to make these seals that he needs to do, and he's gonna need to constantly reseal this every day for like a month for it to be permanent. You listening to like him talk and your mom, you realize this is probably how they made the teleportation circle in your house as well, like, and that's how she knows like how that thing works. She just didn't know how to do this other spell. So but yeah, basically is there anything you want to do? That's pretty much all I wrote for tonight, but if there's anything you want to ask about these gentlemen to your mom and aunt, you can, or do any downtime stuff, we can. Just last little bit, you know.
I'm gonna ask my mom about Vash.
Okay, how are you gonna say it?
I'm just gonna say, what's the story between you two? Because he was acting kind of weird.
She's like, she starts talking. She's like, we were both advisors to the halfling side of our kingdom. He was in charge of basically he was in charge of not only the navy but trade and a lot of things regarding ship travel, and I was in charge of basically magical exploration. So we worked together a lot. We had a lot of meetings between us, the king, and a lot of other diplomats. We had a very close working relationship.
How close?
And when you say how close, she like stops for a second, and her like, I'm gonna roll perception for you, or insight, whatever one you feel more comfortable doing. I did get a 16 for it though.
Both of mine have 0. So.
Okay, so 16. I'm gonna say like after you say that, she like gets she turns a little red. She's like, we may have been a little more close than colleagues should be. Um, she's like,
get it, Mom?
she's like, she kind of like loosens up a little bit. She's like, you know how it is when you're always working with someone, and like, he's a great guy. We're friends, and it just got, yeah. I just, we got a little closer than we should at times, and I do care about it.
I think that he thought that he was my dad.
She like kind of like lets out a breath of air. She's like, he is.
Oh. Okay.
She's like, I didn't. She's like, I've always taught you that we can like be our own people and we don't need like men, But like,
that's okay. I appreciate the way that you raised me, and I know that I don't need a man or a dad. It's fine.
She's like, and that sounds bad though. Like, you deserve, like, had it been different, you would have known him.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
You don't need to feel bad, Mom.
It's basically
you
like,
raised me good.
in another life, there would have been adventures on the high sea and tons of magical exploration in a beautiful castle.
Well, I already get enough adventure in our little town, so.
She's like, well, I've worked really hard for that to be the case, and I love honestly, I just taught you all I could and let you in on all of the things that we do, and you've gone out and found all these awesome people, and I just see you doing great things.
Thanks, Mom.
She's like, my time is over, and I want you to have it all now. She's like, basically, you're getting this vibe that she's like, there's a lot of regret here, but
yeah,
and like she does miss that life like dearly, but like she's done the best with what she has, and you can tell she like really, she takes pride in the way she's raised you and how you've turned out, but there's still like some weird sadness there. Like, obviously this guy,
there's obviously some what ifs, but
she's like, I'm sorry, I should have told you before you went, but I didn't.
You didn't know how. That's okay. I'm not mad at you. I kind of knew.
She's like, well, yeah, I can't really. You've always been smart. So.
Does that mean I'm part elf? That's why I know elf.
She's like, yes, you do have a small amount. Yeah. She's like, I would consider you halfling, but you do have elf in you somewhere.
That's why I know Elven. Okay.
But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to say in this little role play I was just doing, or?
Nope. We're good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we can call it there if you'd like.
Yep.
I feel like this was like, it was eventful, but it was also very. What am I saying? There's no initiative. Really.
Yeah. No initiative. It was good.
Okay.
It was nice.
I felt that maybe you should be let in on, kind of the backstory between there. So.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It was good.
Boom, boom. Okay, so I guess we will end it there. How do I normally end this? We do our lives every Tuesday. Oh, we'll wait. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We do our lives every Tuesday at 7:30 Mountain Standard Time here on TikTok, and then I release those the following Monday on YouTube. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.